everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever.
And child, look, it's a low-key celebration over here. I'm sorry. I'm happy that Matt is gone. So I was kind of like, y'all, literally, I love this season so much because I don't care. I didn't care if Matt left. I didn't care if Kenny left. Hell, Chemo could have left and I wouldn't have gave a damn.
Honestly, I preferred it.
I enjoy so many of these people. So like the outcome really is just whatever it chooses to be. So at first I was like, I kind of want Matt to stay. And then I got more like, okay, I want him to go. But really, I didn't mind who went home. I am happy that he's out though, because he had T-Core's name in his mouth just a little bit too much.
That was that karma. That was that T-Core napalm.
That's that T-Core karma. That T-Karma. That T-Karma, mama. Okay. Please don't say her name. Please don't say her name. Okay.
Period.
So I'm happy that he's out because I'm individually thinking about my sister. I think she'll be able to really connect with MJ, Leah, and them more now that Matt is gone. Matt is the main one who's saying her name, and he's not doing that anymore. So I'm excited.
Period. I'm very excited too. Now, I will say, like Lee said, I didn't really have a preference. If I had to choose, honestly, I just did not care. And that's what makes this season so good. Seasons where the cast are so good or just kind of all on the equal level to where it's like, I mean, I don't hate Matt. I don't hate Chemo. I don't like Kenny, but I don't hate Kenny. It's like I didn't hate any of them. So I kind of just didn't care. So, and it makes the season more enjoyable because a lot of these seasons, and y'all know it, especially y'all, because y'all be riding hard for your faves. And honestly, let's just be honest, it gets exhausting riding hard for my faves. So when I get a season where I can have 10 fave, literally 10. I literally can stand 10 of these people because I love this cast so much. And because of that, it's like, I don't have to be so hard. Like Matt staying, even though he's going after T-Core, I can feel okay because T-Core have other people who like her. And I have other people I like. So it's like, it just makes me feel way less anxious and annoyed when people stay in the game and go in the game and blah, 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 blah. So honestly, I'm good. I'm having a good time.
I agree. And then Hayden Bailey in the chat said, best first week we've had in a long time. And I agree with that. I mean, let's run it down. Like out of the, 5 competitions we had, both upgrades, the HOH DeVito and the AI Arena, 3 of them were won by women.
Boom.
1 was won by a gay man, and then Quinn, he's not the typical straight male archetype to win
unless you're watching BB14.
So it's like the fact that so many different people have won each individual comp this season. It seems like production is very committed to these competitions being equitable. Like I said, we had really positive vibes about the season going into it, and every single episode, I'm proving why I felt that way. I think the edit have been good. The cast is fucking phenomenal. Like there's a few things that like I have certain issues with. Like I know, like if we being real or whatever, like I hate that, we have the Cedric Chelsea camcore and T-Core isn't really in that. But I feel like the difference that I had with that issue in BB24 to now is that the blacks would exclude Taylor in BB24, but they were also trash talk her. And they're not protecting her, and they're being mean towards her. Like the fact that the 3 aren't disrespecting T-Core, they're still including T-Core in little ways, but not necessarily in the core. I enjoy that because it's like they're just playing the game. Like I feel like this season there isn't any biases. There's no racism. I'm not seeing really any colorism. Like I feel like I'm really able to just enjoy the cast for what it is. Like I don't need to necessarily pick at every little thing because I feel like this cast is just giving in so many ways. Like we've seen just some really nasty people play this show for the last few weeks, and I feel like for the last few seasons, and I feel like this season everyone honestly just seems to be pretty good people, and they're here for the game, and that's what I'm excited for. Like I don't feel the need to drag any of these people, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even with the Cedric, Cam, and Chelsea thing, I've seen people on Twitter, the white supremacists in them. We don't care about them, but they complaining already. But it's like you're saying, T-Core isn't in it, and she's not in it, and I'm not mad because they're not making a black alliance. In BB24, it was we're all black, let's work together, except Taylor because she doesn't represent black people. Blah, blah, blah. Cedric, Cam, and Chelsea are not making a black alliance. It's not based on the fact that they're black. It's based on the fact that they can relate, and that's probably because they're black. But they've never spoken that out in the air. They've never said T-Core's not in it because she's not black enough. They've never said we're only in it because we're black enough. None of that has been brought up. It has nothing to do with that. It's very similar to how just so happened the committee was all white people. Just so happened Grateful was all white people. Just so happened the Bomb Squad was all white people. Just so happened 90% of the alliance is all white people. It's not It doesn't have to always be because they're aggressively racist. That's not the case. And we all know that. And I don't know why white people try to claim that that's what we're saying, because that's not what we're saying. Sometimes you just bond to people who are similar to you. And then when you get diversity, you see that happen with the diverse people as well. Big Brother 11, very easy, quick, whole entire season example of that. There was literally lines of only the white people, and then literally lines of only the POC, and it was never stated in that season once. Neither side ever said that was the reason. I don't even think they noticed until like after the season, or maybe the POC noticed, because they always have to notice, because that's what we have to do. But it's like, in general, it was really just we liked each other and they liked each other, and that's how it is, and that's what happens a lot of the time. So,
and that's what I feel like we're getting with this season. Like, I feel like people are aligning based off who they like. It's not necessarily any of the weird under the cover microaggressions that I feel like we've seen over these last few seasons, and just all across the house. I'm really excited to what this season is going to bring.
Yes. Okay, so let me pull up the people. Let me pull up the images. If you are a visual learner, go to YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, just go to YouTube. We would definitely appreciate it. Please subscribe. We're only 200 subscribers away from 5,000 subs. That would mean the world to us, y'all. So tell your friends. If you're not subscribed and you've been watching us, I know sometimes I do that. Just subscribe real quick. Press the button. Thank you. If you have a friend.
It's real easy, sister.
It's real easy. If you have a friend and they're not subscribed, tell them to subscribe. If your mama don't subscribe, tell your mom to subscribe. Okay? Little sister, little brother, log into their accounts. I don't know. Thank you. Give us a like, share, all of that. Thank you. Boom. Mwah. So we got this episode, and of course, we make sure you watch our live feed recaps, because we did a full live feed recap of the week with America on Tuesday. We're going to do that every single Tuesday. We're going to do the recap and rate the players, so make sure you watch that. And in the recap, we got into everything that happened in the week that led up to this episode, which was the live eviction episode with the AI arena twist added to it. So it is very interesting. We already got into all those arguments that's fights, so y'all got to get into that in the other videos. But when it came to this twist, hold on. Before we get into that, you mentioned earlier, Lee, at the beginning of the podcast, you was like, yeah, 3 of the women have won 5 of the comps. There's so many records broken this week
already,
this season with the comps. First, with HOH, Angela is the oldest woman. The first time the oldest woman in the cast has won the first HOH was Angela. Amazing. Lisa is the first woman in a regular season to win the spelling V veto comp. And it was the same. It was actually not changed. It was just the same spelling V veto comp. I know Shannon Elizabeth did it in Celebrity, but in a real season, it's happened 8 times. And 7 times a man won it. This is the first time a woman won it, which is crazy, because honestly, I didn't even expect her to win it. So that's another.
Yeah,
that's another.
Every comp win this season so far, I didn't expect the person to necessarily win. Like, it's insane.
Yep. The 3 men be on the block. The first 2 the first nominations all being men. Another record broken. They've broken like 4 or 5 records just in this week. So already the season is 10 out of 10 for me. Okay, thank you. So boom. We get to this AI arena twist. So we know that the nominees are Chemo, Matt, and Kenny, and they all have to play this AI arena competition. The competition is called Glitch in the System. And Lee, how equitable is this? Wasn't it giving?
Girl, I live for this. So basically, they just have to guess which house guest is shown the most on these videos that they're playing. Yeah. I personally thought it was Joseph. I'm not gonna lie, because I didn't get to see all of them, but I'm really happy that Chemo won. I'm not shocked that he did. Like I said in the recap with America, I feel like Chemo is gonna be a low-key comp beast. Like, I feel like he could win his next HOH. He could win a veto or 2. Like, especially with the type of comps that they're giving. Like I said, as we saw throughout this first week, 5 different people have won each competition that was played in. So I feel like we're going to continue to see different outcomes, and I'm just really happy that Chemo got it. Like I said, I thought it was Joseph, but I thought it was hilarious that Matt chose T-Core, because it's like, girl, you've been talking about T-Core all motherfucking week, and you're going to choose an AI arena. You just got T-Core on your mind. How about you stop thinking about a mother, and you wouldn't have lost. He didn't even lock in T-Core. He put her in the thing, and he didn't even lock the answer in. His box didn't even light up green. So it's like, girl, I'm happy he's gone. There's no shade.
Because he was doing too much. So, like Lee said, Chemo ends up winning the arena. I wasn't surprised because Chemo was someone who I thought could do good at comps. Lee, you kind of said it as well. So I wasn't surprised he won. And that left Kenny and Matt on the block. We knew that meant Matt was going home. But Leah, Lisa, and Mackenzie apparently didn't know. Now, I thought Leah got tipped off, but she didn't, apparently. Because, girl, what?
Do you still have the Alliance graphic?
I still have the Alliance graphic. Let me
pull
pull
that up real quick, because this is where it really gets interesting, because the only 3 people who were left out of the vote were Lisa, Mackenzie, and Leah. Now, most people in the house don't really like Lisa, but the only 2 people who have been gravitating towards her is Mackenzie and Leah. Yeah. Now, it's interesting because now that Matt went home, Mackenzie and Leah know the barbershop is completely bullshit. As you can see, Rubina didn't vote with them, neither did Brooklyn, neither did Cam. Now, Cedric and Chelsea could lie, but let's be real. If the entire house knew, y'all motherfucking knew too.
Y'all knew.
So it's like, I'm interested to see, is Mackenzie and Leah and Lisa going to link up into a trio now? Because they all voted the same way, and they all kind of seem to relate to each other a lot. Like, they talk to each other like a lot. So I can see them kind of linking up. But Leah specifically, I'm interested to see where Leah's going to go after this, because she has enough connections with the other side that she's going to be able to pivot well. But I'm just interested to see how they're going to move forward, especially if one of the 3 win HOH.
I agree. And I was telling Leah, first of all, let's address this. Lisa said Leah knew. And that's what I was thinking too, because Quinn hinted very heavily at the fact that a lot of people were going to evict Matt if he's on the block. He basically literally just said that if Matt was on the block, a lot of people probably will evict him. So I think Leah had like, she's not as shocked. She's definitely not as shocked as probably Lisa.
Girl, she didn't act shocked at all.
But I don't know if she knew. I don't know that she knew, in the sense that she knew the vote was going to be 8 people voting him out, and it was just going to be her, Mackenzie. I don't know that she knew that. I just think she thought
a majority. Brooklyn told her in the hallway.
Ooh, get into that tea. I was wondering that too. I was like, did someone tell her right before? So that's very interesting on Leah. But when it comes to, because I already feel like what Lee said, that Leah is going to pivot regardless. Leah is not the type of player, from what she's shown, to just sit in the fact that her and Mackenzie, we're against the house. She's not doing that. Yeah. She's going to be right up under Quinn and Cedric and Cam, very much so, in trying to get back in their good grades. Not even back, because they want to pull her in anyways. Cam, Chelsea, and Cedric already said they want to pull her in, and Quinn said they already want to pull her in. So Leah's going to be good regardless. Now, Mackenzie, that's going to be an interesting one. But my theory was, if Mackenzie wins HOH, in my opinion, she doesn't have the option to be mad at the barbershop, because that's all she has. In my opinion, you can't afford to not nom Angela, who you don't like, Chemo, who you were ready to evict, who you haven't talked to literally all season, and Joseph, who you've slandered and said that he's associated with Angela. You and Matt have been talking around about how he's probably the one who turned on y'all, and he's fucking with Angela, and we don't even like him no more. And Matt has basically told Joseph this to his face. So it's like, Mackenzie's in a rock and a hard place, because it's like, yeah, they turned on her and they were her alliance, but also you're not friends with nobody outside of that. Right. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. And this right here, it really solidifies, I think, the game. The first eviction is always the turning point. I feel like the rest of the season is going to just fly by. We're going to be done with the season in a week, basically. Like, we're going to wake up tomorrow and we're going to be at the final 3. Like, for real. I feel like that's always how it happens. So I'm just interested to see. We have to see who wins this HOH and really see how it's going to turn up, because whoever wins, I think, is going to decide the direction of the game, but only for this week. Like, the thing about this season, I truly think it's going to change up every single week, because so many people are keeping their options open. No person is loyal to one specific side of this house. Like, as you can see from the graphic, like, the main group is the Pentagon, and they're kind of playing in both arenas. Now, it'll be interesting, like I said, to see where Mackenzie and Leah and Lisa discuss after this vote, because even though they knew, they had inkling, it's still interesting that they were specifically the ones left out after being told that there may be a possibility he could be staying, specifically Mackenzie. So I'm just interested to see what's going to happen.
Me too, very much so. Shout out to MW. Thank you so much. MW said,
Oh, make it rain, MW. Not
period.
$50, mama.
MW said, glad to catch a live this season. Yay! Love the episode with America, and I wasn't even a fan of hers. I am now. Keep up the great content. I really love that because a lot of the times we do get guests and people are like, ooh, not you got them on. But a lot of the time I'm like, okay, hopefully people can see them in a different light. People who didn't like them can start liking them, or even vice versa. Sometimes I get guests I don't even like, no shade. Like, I don't love everybody all the time. So I definitely get it. But it's good that you watched it and liked it. Thank you so much. And guys, we're gonna start talking about Matt and kind of why he got evicted. But while we're doing that, if y'all want to ask any questions, put the questions in the chat at the end. We'll start answering some of y'all questions. What do we think about the game? What do we think about a specific player, etc., etc.? Put the questions in the chat. But let's get into basically why Matt went home, because damn near everyone voted him out except Leah, Mackenzie, and Lisa. And what it seems like from what he came in and what he told Julie Lee was he got stereotyped. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that's why he went home?
I just find it. I find it so awkward when like someone who's so socially accepted in the real world kind of says that in this type of environment. Because we spoke about it on the phone a little bit. In a way, he is kind of correct. Because there aren't enough people in this season that are like him for him to gravitate or connect to. But like we said on the phone, is that if the shoe was on the other foot, I don't think that he would be okay with that position. Like, for example, if people wanted to say that the reason why he was throwing T-Car under the bus was because she was black, he would say, well, no, I'm not stereotyping her in that way. I just don't vibe with her. Well, they can say the same thing about you. They just don't vibe with you. I feel like it's a double-edged sword, and like, we've seen Matt's social media and things like that. It's very obvious that he connects with a specific type of person. That's why his closest allies in the game are Mackenzie and Leah. We see in this new era when people are not able to connect or gravitate to people from different backgrounds, POC and things like that, it becomes an issue. And people saying, I know he is a POC, but if you surround yourself around a specific type of group, you're not going to be able to connect with people on that level. So I feel like that was kind of his issue here. Like, he really wasn't able to connect with a lot of people in the house, so he just didn't fit in. And I feel like in the real world, he's usually easily able to fit in the spaces that he frequent, but not in this house. And also, he did say and do slightly some things that kind of rub people the wrong way, and that was on him. I don't think the word stereotype is necessary, only because there isn't any situation in the real world where he's necessarily stereotyped for real. I mean, just look at him. He's gorgeous. You know what I mean? And I know he's probably faced some hardships, but definitely not more than most of the people in this house. So it's like, you can say it is, you can say it's not, but I hate that stance, because like I said, if he was doing it, if he won HOH and nominated T-Core Chemo,
and someone claimed that for him, he wouldn't appreciate that.
So.
And I love that you said that you don't feel like using the word stereotype is necessary, because I feel like it technically is stereotyping. I do feel like he was stereotyped, but like you said, using the word just isn't necessary. I feel like, but what I will say is using the word isn't necessary in the context of the entirety of Big Brother. He's not a fan. So someone who isn't a fan, who's never seen it, him going in that house, I think, because I remember hearing Alpha Bros who aren't fans say this before, they all come in thinking, we're going to go home first because no one wants the Alpha Bro here. And he feels like it was a self-fulfilling idea that he already had, because he said that in the house. He's like, I was worried that people are going to do that. And it's probably because he's never seen the show and he doesn't understand that the show is literally the opposite. He's thinking, the Alpha Bro always gets targeted and da-da-da-da-da. And I've heard other Alpha Bros say that. And it's like, you're wrong. But I feel like when he's talking about being stereotyped, if he knew the history of Big Brother and understood that literally the opposite happens, he probably would still say the same thing. And that's the issue. But I'm going to give him a little bit grace on that, because he probably doesn't even know. And it's like, you're not a fan. And I think that's his biggest problem. And I think that that's what goes into why he went home, because he's not a fan. He came in this house very hot. Very, very hot. And Angela was very hot too, but Angela was HOH. He was a random player who wasn't in any power position, and he was holding meetings one-on-ones damn near in the storage room all week. It was very obvious. And there is a history of his archetype who taking control of the game. And if you did your research or if you were a fan, that's his biggest issue. He's not a fan. He didn't even know that people would assume that of him because of the history of this game, because he doesn't know the history of this game. So he came in there doing whatever the fuck he want as being this alpha bro. Cam, who is also, I would say, is a alpha stereotype, he did the opposite because he watched the game. He knows what the fuck he's doing. And I think that's Matt's issue. If Matt would have knew the game, he wouldn't have probably had this fate. He's a random, recruit. And I love that he was casted. I'm not saying don't cast recruits, but I just feel like that's why he lost. It's because he's a recruit. I hate to say it, to break it down that simple, but I really think that's what it is, honestly.
What's your take on the whole Matt versus Angela thing? Because I feel like, the audience, the TV edit, they really want us to hate Angela. Like, I will not be surprised if Angela literally gets nominated with America's Veto Power, because I can definitely see how in the edit she is definitely the big bad wolf. Which personally, in my opinion, like I don't think that was right for her to necessarily say he aggressively attacked her or aggressively tried to do anything to her. She did really play the victim in that moment, and I think it is fun what Angela is doing, but I think it's easy for people to call something fun when it's affecting someone that you don't necessarily vibe with. To me, it's all entertainment. So as far as like choosing a side, Matt or Angela, like I don't feel like I need to choose a side. Like I'm just laughing either way. But in general, like I think it's valid. I think it's valid that people see Matt as a victim in this situation. He was nominated. He was all the way backdoored and evicted. And a lot of people in that position, we would say, were the victim in this scenario. So I think I can understand why people see Matt as the victim here, but people start saying that he's the Taylor Hill of the season. It's like, hold on now. Too far. It's definitely not. It's interesting because I think if Angela did this to someone else, because like if Angela had put up T-Core this week, baby, I'd be right here with everyone else dragging Angela, and that's why I'm not over here praising Angela either, because Angela's a slight weirdo. She is. Yeah. So it's like I don't understand why anyone is fully on this side or fully on that side. Like honestly, I think both of them did some crazy shit, and Angela was the HOH, so Matt ended up going home.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. And I think the edit was trying to do that, was trying to show that they both did some crazy stuff, because what piqued my interest in that idea is that Julie exit interview, she's like reading to Matt what he said, and she's like, can't you see how that could be seen as aggressive? And it's like she usually only does that to the person who they want to make the not the victim, Right. So it was weird that they edited him, because I do agree. I feel like they did edit it to where it's like Angela was more of the thing. I just don't think they meant to do that, because to have Julie read those cards out and ask him, doesn't he think that's aggressive? Very, very weird approach to someone who you want to make a victim. I don't think, I think they just suck at editing, I fear, because that should have been a very equally edited situation. And I definitely think it was edited way more towards Angela, the aggressor, because I just feel like, not that Angela was right or he was right. That's the thing. I don't feel like anyone was right, and I don't feel like anyone was wrong. I just feel like that was Angela's opinion and how she felt in the moment. That was Matt's opinion and how he felt in the moment, and they should just show it in equal terms. And I think that's what they wanted to do, and they just failed because they're failures. I do want to say shout out to Amal from Big Brother Canada. Amal says, I just watched the first 4 episodes and I'm happy y'all doing live recap because I'm obsessed. Thank you so
Amal, sister.
Thank you so much.
Darkwatch 2000 in the chat, she definitely said aggressive too. She used the word aggressive when she spoke about Matt. So yeah,
she
definitely used those words, and for sure, if she used those words against someone like Cam, someone like T-Core, Cedric, I would have an issue with it. So it's like she was carrying him the fuck out. She really was. Like the entire situation was crazy, and I feel like if it was against someone else, a lot more people would be upset. The fact that it's Matt, people are not upset, but in the same sense, it's like I understand both sides.
I agree. Last part. Let's get into this real quick. And then we're going to get into y'all questions, but let's get into this real quick. So, someone mentioned earlier, they was like, Lee, why you not stomping for your first pick in the draft?
Girl, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want so many. It's like, girl, he need to win.
You know what? That's team.
I mean, we all know I'm probably still going to win.
Honestly, because of history, Lee is very, very likely going to win. Because of what's happening in the season, I wouldn't see that, because a lot of his people are not included in a lot of things. The only 2 options I see as a winner are Brooklyn and Quinn on Lee's team. And then on my team, there's a path for a lot of them except really like Angela. Even Chemo I could see winning, but man, he's at the bottom. And those are my last 2 picks, which is interesting. I really ate
You
this
got
up, but
all 3 C's though.
I have all 3 C's as well. I have all 3 C's.
That's
Tucker is a
nasty.
good dark horse. Lee is a good dark horse. I think Joseph and Chemo are good dark horses too. I think I have a great cast, but knowing me, I could have the
All the
best.
targets.
I could have all 9 best players, and
Yep.
Lee could have every single
Because
target.
it
And Lee
gives
will
very
still win.
much Chelsea, Cam, Cedric gonna go home, and then Brooklyn gonna win, or Quinn gonna win.
Yep.
T. Cora gonna sneak up there. I can
Yep.
see Rubina being in that end game, girl.
Yep.
So
And it's
I
like,
mean,
oh,
you gotta
child.
start picking more broadly. I don't know.
Mhm. I guess that's what it is. I mean, I didn't know what they was gonna do in this game. I'm honestly surprised. Well, I think I have a good variety because I have people who weren't included. I have Leah, I have Tucker, and then I have the big 3. But having the big 3 is crazy. I mean, hey, I feel like I ate. Hopefully, they actually eat it up and win. I think, but that's the thing.
Right now, one of the 3 winning, but honestly, and Kayla said in the chat just now, it's anybody game.
It's anybody game. It really
anybody
is.
Can win this season. I truly feel like even this week, a little bit more things could solidify, but it's not going to be anything long term enough that is going to determine them as like the majority or the majority alliance or just the people running the game. Like I feel like right now Chelsea, Cam, Cedric is the core, which is interesting what they call each other, but even that is kind of shaky. So I feel like anything can still happen.
Anything can happen. Honestly. Shout out to Dalen. Let me pull this up. How I pull up this comment. Cause shout out to Dalen. Love watching your recaps. Thank you, Dalen.
Period, Dalen. Make it rain.
Shout out to Sephora. Sephora says, with this AI arena thing, does this mean we won't get goodbye messages? Oh, that might be T. I did not think of that. I think that might be T.
That they still recorded them because they have them pre-recorded. So it's possible they had them record one for each of the 3, and we just won't see Matt's on the episode. But I know usually Julie, when she has that extended interview, sometimes they show some in there. So it's possible they could be waiting for that. But yeah, I mean, it's also possible. I don't think that there's a comeback.
Yeah, she also says there's a battle back. There shouldn't be because she told Matt. She said Quinn has this power and Mackenzie has this power right in front of Matt. So it's like there definitely shouldn't be a battle back. At least not pre-jury. Maybe there will be one post-jury.
They're confirming in the chat. They said it's going to be on Instagram tomorrow. So yeah.
Okay, so
they just didn't have time to show it in the episode. And I feel like that is the one negative about the AI arena. How I love it. I honestly kind of want this to stay for a while. Like even into more seasons, like this whole eliminator for eviction night. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling it, Big Brother. Y'all doing something, but it sucks that we won't get HOH as well. However, at least we have feeds, so we'll be able to see it tonight. Who wins?
That's gonna be so exciting to see who wins because this season it's like so all up. Like you said, anybody can have it. It's so all over the place. So that'll be interesting. Okay, Oscar says, "What do you think the vote count would have been if Matt won the AI arena? So if it was Kenny versus Chemo."
I think everyone would have evicted. Everyone would have evicted Kenny except maybe Matt and maybe Mackenzie because they're delusional.
I agree. I think maybe Matt and maybe
Lisa,
maybe Leah, maybe Leah too.
Yeah, maybe Lisa and Leah. Only because I know Lisa was saying a lot that she wanted to do what the house was doing. She just didn't realize that the house was actually evicting Matt. So I don't know if Matt came off the block, would she then think, oh, I should do what Matt wants, which is keep Kenny. So I can specifically see maybe Matt, Mackenzie, and Lisa evicting Kenny. I mean, evicting Chemo, but I think everyone else would have evicted Kenny.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think it would have just been 3 votes to evict Chemo, similar to how it was 3 votes to evict Kenny. Period. Arkham Child says, how do you feel that the Angela and Lisa fight was not shown?
Girl, if they show that fight, Angela's for sure getting nominated with America's Veto. Like
honestly,
because she did some crazy shit. I'm more upset that they didn't show the Angela and Mackenzie fight. You remember the day she went off on Matt? Yeah, she went into the storage room and went off on Mackenzie too about them being in the alliance. Like honestly, I wanted to see that. I think the Lisa and Angela fight is gonna come next week, like this Sunday. I can see it being on that episode because that is they literally turned the feeds off for that. So either they're gonna wait to save that for when that beef comes to a head, or it's just gonna be in Sunday's episode because they want that entertainment.
I agree.
Because the fact that the feeds was down damn near all day for that is crazy.
Yeah, they were saving that for sure. Dave the artist said winner pick now that it's been a week. I said my winner pick on Twitter. Actually, my winner pick currently as of now is actually Joseph, which is like a very interesting one. I feel like the people who are leading the charge at the beginning, we've seen kind of fall in these new era seasons. So when I'm thinking of Cam, Cedric, Chelsea, and Quinn, I'm seeing all of them have a downfall. It's very hard for me not to. And I feel like the best or the smartest player and the biggest fan other than them is Joseph. And he's not at this head charge thing. He can't really get caught up right now because he's not leading anything. And I feel like the 3 Cs are going to get caught up, and I can see Quinn getting caught up. And the person who I feel like has the best chance of having knowledge of the game to pick up pieces is Joseph. So that's why it's like a hot take because, girl, he hasn't shown that. But it's just my prediction. But what do you think? Who do you think?
I was going to say, it's interesting because Andy tweeted on Twitter that he feels like Quinn is going to be the flame out super fan, and Joseph is actually going to be the one that's successful.
I agree.
Which right now is really hard to see because Quinn is in everything, and Joseph was almost in everything, and then that kind of went away all within 1 week. So I see what you mean on like the 3 Cs getting targeted. It's just, I don't know. I feel like if the other side wins, he could easily go up with Angela. And why evict Angela if Joseph on the block? You know, I can see. I can always see if Joseph gets nominated, Joseph has a high chance of going. But he showed promise in those first few days, so I feel like he could be able to pick it up as well.
Yeah.
But my winner pick, I feel like I'm still seeing it for Cam. I'm still seeing it for Cam. I am. I think a lot of people like Cam. Cam is in literally every alliance in the game. The Pentagon, the Barbershop, the Collective, the Mr. Anderson Half Not Alliance,
whatever Lisa trying to make.
Lisa's trying to make, he's involved in that. He is in every single thing, and they don't see him as a threat, and he definitely should be seen as a threat because the way he ran through that downgrade competition on the first night, he's going to be someone I feel like is going to be great at competition when he starts to lock in. Like it's already, to me, it's giving Xavier tease. It is. It's giving that like people love him. They want to include him in things, and they're going to keep him around long enough for him to be able to win those competitions. So we're going to see where that goes. Since the competitions are different, it may be a different meta now, but I see it for Cam. I do.
I see that. What's y'all's prediction for this HOH? As in, who's going to win?
So I've had a few premonitions. So, and this just happened over the week. For some reason, I felt like Tucker was going to win. I felt like Chemo was going to win. And I can see Lisa winning.
I felt Chemo
and Joseph.
I felt Joseph is a good one. I felt Chemo, but I feel like that energy I felt kind of went towards this little AI arena win. So my second feel of who I felt like was gonna win was Joseph. So I agree. I think I feel it for Joseph. If Joseph wins, that could be good for him if he can not even rekindle. I feel like they would just be like, well, Collective, and then it'll help lock it in more. So that would be a good win for him. Gossip Girl says, what was y'all thoughts on Matt and Kenny's campaign?
That was so awkward.
It was Julie's fault though, or production's fault. I feel like they should have told them that prior to. They had all day. They were fucking just getting ready all day. You could have told the house guests that y'all are gonna have a chance to campaign prior to the eviction because they already knew about the AI arena twist. You're not spoiling anything. They know that's the twist. So just tell them they're gonna have a chance to campaign because when she tried to do it live, everyone was looking stupid, including her.
Girl, not feeds already back up, girl. Did they play HOH?
They did. They definitely didn't. Well, then let's hurry this up. Shit, what the fuck? So yeah, dud campaigns. That was weird. Do you think Angela is going on the block no matter what? No. I feel like, well, honestly, I think it's very likely because there's 3 noms. I don't think it will be smart for everyone in the house to nom Angela. I feel like there's a few people who, maybe just one, but there's a few people, or there's someone in the house who is not the best idea to nom Angela. Angela shouldn't go for everyone because Angela saying keep someone who Mackenzie kind of has to target, keep someone who kind of, Lisa has to target. Like she's always someone for Kenny, Lisa, and Mackenzie to target. So if you take out Angela, why? And if you put up Angela, she could very well likely go home. So I just feel like for a lot of people who want to stay in the middle, taking out Angela is stupid because there's 3 people who are going to do it. You shouldn't do it. So we'll see, but I hope not.
Feeds being back this early make me feel like HOH is probably going to be later tonight.
Yeah. 100%.
So maybe the AI arena comp was in the backyard. I thought maybe the AI arena comp was like in the upstairs room, but the fact that feeds are all already back. I mean, this is even
they're gonna have it later on.
Oh, because it came on 7. Does Pacific time still have to be late? Yeah, they probably still do, huh? Because usually they wait till after West Coast airs.
They do, which is interesting. So they turned the feeds back on before West Coast even aired, and it's probably not.
I know Chelsea is not crying with Leah. Chelsea is so hilarious, girl. Girl, you didn't give a damn.
That's the mother. Okay. King Khalil says, who do y'all think is going to have this Heisem type of downfall? I think Joseph. I don't think that's going to happen every season. It was very random that Heisem had that happen anyways. Honestly.
I mean, it looked like it was already Matt, honestly. It was Matt.
Yeah, honestly. Great hair, Pharaoh. Thank you. Okay, y'all.
Oh, yeah, y'all. Pharaoh is in New York.
Don't be telling people where I am.
Oh, okay. I'm in any Kingdom Bottoms in New York.
Let's end this. So anyways, y'all, thank you for keeping it real to Kingdom. Like I said, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out all of our other videos. We just had a video with America Lopez from last season, so definitely get into that. Get into the rest of the season. We're also covering Claim to Fame and RuPaul's Drag Race, so get into that as well. And thank you for keeping it real with the Kingdom, babes. We're out. I'm